and welcome to round 6 of season 4 of the Apex Online Assetto Corsa Competizione for tier 7. This week's race takes place at Misano World Circuit, which is located at the Misano Adriatico in the province of Rimini in Italy. First opened in 1972 and expanded upon over the following years, the venue's currently got a capacity of 60,000 people and has a lap distance of 4.2 kilometers or 2.6 miles. Although it features 16 turns, the layout of this track will make overtaking quite difficult, and it's mainly used for motorbike races, but joined the GT World Challenge Series European Sprint Cup Series in 2015. It's also used for Formula Renault races, and of note to motorsport fans, Alpha Tauri's shakedown took place at this circuit in 2020. Looking at the Drivers' Championship table leading into this round, Nils Nins moves to the top of the table as a result of his victory at Spa last week, pushing down both Conor McCarthy and Peter Martin from first and second place respectively. Looking further down the table, both Kieran Wilson and Steve Bezic moved a long way up following good results for them both at Spa last week. Other drivers slipped further behind, but Suleiman Barr was a new entry into the top 10, with a good position finishing second at the Spa-Francorchamps. The drivers who slipped behind will be looking to capitalise on this week's race as an opportunity to move back and reclaim their previous positions on the championship table. Looking at the Teams Championship, Beeswax Racing confirmed their hold of the top of the table with Nils' victory and Steve Bezik's 9th place last week, and are now 130 points clear of Team Gently Bentley in second place. However, the competition is still close from second all the way down to 5th, with just 100 points separating all 4 teams. With both drivers scoring points at each event, it's possible for these gaps to close quite substantially should anybody suffer a bad result. And whilst tonight's race will take place in clear, warm conditions, it's a night's race with the start at 3 AM. So these conditions will test our drivers' abilities to deal with poor visibility. Good evening. You join us right as qualifying started now. We've got 10 minutes left. Just on my first flying lap.
The leader's just done a 136.84.
We've all found this quite a difficult, slippy, slidey track. I've got enough fuel to make another go. Let's cross the finish line. Yeah, all right.
7th position. Sector 3 is 0.7.
Well, that's actually slower than his best qualifying
So
lap
that goes
today.
up to. It's not the way to do a quality lap. That's bought that. I don't think you'll win any prizes for that one. Racing somebody during quali. Okay, let's get out there again.
Okay, Stevie, 10 minutes to go. That's 10 minutes left.
So I have to do another warm-up lap now, get those tyres warmed up, due to drivers squabbling, for want of a better description.
Take care, there's a car approaching.
That's the Blues. He'll have to pull over now.
The leader has just done a 136.49.
I have just managed a 36 in practice,
Your front brakes are getting pretty hot.
but it's not so easy actually trying to do it during real qualifying, because as you just saw, lots of drivers have a habit of getting in the way. I had a complete
Yellow
nightmare
flag.
last night in the social race with lots of drivers who just couldn't get out on track. And it takes a very tiny mistake here and your lap's disallowed. I'm going to guess that Crawford in front has only got fuel for this flying lap, and then he'll pull over to go back to the pits, which should give me a nice empty track.
P11.
He's heavily fueled, I think, Crawford. He's going again. Oh, don't cook it, overcook it, overcook it. Overcooked it. Bollocks.
Track limits, they'll invalidate this lap. The guy in front has just done a 138.05. New fastest lap for McCarthy, 136.48.
And that's part of the problem. One tiny mistake there and I blew that lap. That's one gone. One more lap after this one before I run out of fuel. Now, if I could latch on to Gary, he's usually quite quick. He's not got a time yet. He might be too quick for me. Lift off, going across that curb. Hit third as soon as you hit that bit of curb in just on the right. Right, let's try and make this one work.
P12.
Not got many drivers tonight. There's only 20.
The leader has just done a 135.75.
Well, just going into the briefing, there's only 20 of us, and there's 26 now. It's not so bad. Made it this time. But we're not improving our lap time though. Now we're making slight inroads.
Okay, let's have a look at the qualifying time so far.
0.46.
Unfortunately, he's not as fast as his best intermediate.
All right, Stevie, 5 minutes to go, 5 minutes left. P13, you're a second off the pace in sector 3.
Okay, back to the pits. Should, all going well, have enough chances to get out twice again. Seems to be hanging around P13 though. dummies in 8th. I just saw a 137, so in theory I should be moving. I could move 5 places forward if I pull my finger out, get my act together. If that's accurate, should be at least a second faster.
The pit exit looks clear. Blue flag. Your brake temperatures are low. We need to get some heat into them.
Let's try that come through.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
Keep being pushed down in P14 now. Nins is up to 5th. Yet again claiming he really couldn't do his track midweek and he was rubbish at it. He was even on Discord just before the race, putting down his driver excuses before we'd even started.
The leader's just done a 135.60.
My very, very best in practice offline, when I had the track temperature wrong, was a... Why are you stopping, Marquez? Don't stop. I lose all momentum now at this corner. I'd misread the instructions, thought it was a daytime race. I'd set it for 27 degrees during the day and the track's a lot faster then.
14th.
I did a 35.8. It's rubbish. But somehow fast. Not fast anymore.
Just 2 minutes left. 2 minutes to go.
Should be able to get round.
Sector 1 is 0.8.
Well, that's actually slower than his best qualifying lap today.
Go again. A bit too close to Marquez for comfort.
Your front brakes are pretty hot now. The leader has just done a 135.57.
Well, that was close to getting disallowed. Moved up 1 place.
P13, sector 3 is 0.7.
Compared with his previous times, I can see that he's actually slower there.
This is it, a Defo Glory lap. Yeah. Come on, we need to go quicker. Brake far too early then. This is not going well, this is just going away from me this lap.
Checker flags out, 13th place.
I lost lots of time there with Brakovic having a moment. It's very difficult, going to be difficult to pull this back now. Be an improvement. There's no way I can find 0.4 of a second in just one corner. It's getting worse as well. Trying. Come on.
I think
Won't make
there's
it.
some kind of incident. I can see yellow flags.
That was disappointing.
Cut detected.
I did say that every week in quali. Yeah, it was unfortunate. Drivers got in the way. There's no other way of putting it. Drivers got in the way. Okay. Well, what's happened there? We've had the server already. I ended up 14th, even worse. Oh, Kinder turned up. Didn't think he was going to be here. This is the worst place possible now, right in the middle of the pack. And I could have been a little bit further up, for sure. Road, high downforce, good setup. Check that fuel. We're all good. All good. I've lost quality times. Oh, what's going on with Mr. McCarthy? He was last. Well, as we saw at the intro, Nins is leading at the moment, but Winspur is fighting with him. Martin as well, but it's Connolly McCarthy back at last place. He's currently second in the championship, so he's not where he needs to be really. Kay Wilson, and I think it's myself and Wilson who are pretty close to each other, if I remember correctly. So a few places, but it'll all be the usual at the start. Oh no! Oh no! I've got Morphy behind me. I'm doomed. Lord save me. Let's hope this race takes my mind off things tonight. There's 2 minutes to go. I've been trying a variety of camera angles, by the way. I welcome feedback on where you think it best suits for the race, either pointing at my face, pointing at the screens. I had one last night that was straight over my head. Oh, looks like Connolly might have some connection issues apparently. It's okay, it's green. Oh, he's having PC issues. Steve Allen shouting at everybody in chat to be careful on lap 1. Don't know what he means. Well, we stay in the right position. I've got the inside for T1, but the first few corners sort of zigzag a bit, so there's no real benefit this week to where you are. They'll get you at some point. 50 seconds, drive is nearly enabled. Just heard tonight the GT4 cars are coming out this week, and part of the upgrade is that the drive button here will start flashing, because obviously people are missing pressing it. I know I did, first online race I did. Drive enabled, 23 seconds, turn the lights on. Why is my pit stop not showing a pit stop? Oh dear, don't press that.
Going single file.
Oh, where that's coming. to not change tyres. Okay, all set.
Low tire pressure. Stay clear of the curbs.
Nearly found out to my peril last night. If you don't stay in your green zone, you get threatened with being transported back to the pits and starting to lap down on everybody. So it makes you obey. Hard to remember now, but we used to do fully manual starts with no widget, where everybody had to remember which side of a track to get on, who they were lining up behind. Felt realistic, but was very difficult to ensure everybody got organised properly. Even with this widget, it's difficult. Now this is a very short lap, so it's going to be very difficult to warm the tyres up. Word out today is the GT4 cars are even worse for this, and you won't get your tyres warmed up for several laps, which will be interesting. That will turn TC up for the first lap or so. Watch me forget to turn it down for about 40 minutes.
P13. Okay, Stevie.
The warm-up lap is over.
That was on the
The
outside,
red
not
lights are
ideal.
on.
So here we go. There was a little bit of skittles last night.
Floor it. Green, green, green.
To Gary,
Right.
that ignores the instructions, straight into free abreast.
Right side's clear. Car right. Clear right. Car right.
Clear on the right.
Right side's clear. On your right.
Car on the right.
Hold your line.
Clear on the
Clear right.
Car on the
Car right.
right. Clear on the right.
Still there. Clear right. Car right. Clear
Heavy on the
right.
brakes then.
Car left.
Clear on the left.
Still there. Clear left. P12.
Eugene was very hesitant then. So I took the opportunity to get around him, but gaps forming, so it makes it a bit safer. Bit of trouble braking then for that corner. It all looks clean so far, I'm not aware of any issues.
The gap to Crawford ahead is increasing. It's now 1.6 seconds.
So the thing to watch out for tonight is how many of our laps are disallowed. I think both Nins and myself had dozens of laps disallowed last night. I think we had about 4 that were good. It's like Eugene's gathered himself up, he's coming back at me.
P11.
Fastest lap so far.
Felt a little bit on the edge of that. Don't remember this car's very heavy now with fuel.
The gap behind is now 0.8.
Good job we don't have DRS in this. Seeing there's lots of wheel spin here on my wheel when the red lights flash. That means the rears are spinning. That's the corner just now that we have the most trouble with, and it really costs us because it leads onto this back straight. So if you don't take that corner well, you are very much a sitting duck. This is proof because Eugene's really closing in on us. So I'm going to try and focus on getting that corner right during this race. Eugene's very close now. Oh, keep slipping and changing gear. Need to be careful of that.
Okay, Stevie, the next car is Crawford.
That was better.
Your front brakes are getting pretty hot.
I don't know why. I think you just like saying that. Ooh, what? Don't know how Eugene managed that. He suddenly really came at us for that turn at the end there. Must have lost a lot of time somewhere. He's probably very wary of hitting me. He's on my team for the 8 hours of Laguna Seca this weekend. Probably going to get me on this straight as I go super defensive and get a bad line and a very bad corner with the rear end sliding.
The gap to Crawford ahead is increasing. It's now 5.0 seconds. Right side. Hold your line.
Brave move, Eugene. That's a brave move.
That lapse in concentration has cost him the lead.
Not leading, Murray. Come on, calm down.
The leader has just done a 136.83.
That's quick. Right, let's get it together. Terrible.
P12.
There must be an accident. The yellow flags are out.
No, I think somebody just put a wheel off. Oh no. I saw Memi in the pit, so he must be having a bit of a difficult race. So I know I'm going to have a difficult first few laps, and then when the car starts to get lighter, it really gets a lot easier. There you go, off track.
That lap time was 139.41. That's your best lap in the session. Gap in front is now 1.3 seconds.
Very much a racer just focusing this one. Crawford's 5 seconds in front of Eugene, in front of me, so got quite a bit of time to make up. Doing a decent lap this time though, 0.78 up. I still worry about the McLaren speed on that back straight. I think as we touched on for Spa last week, because of the balance of power, that engine output from this is severely restricted. So we're a sitting duck on long straights, and this is just one big long straight down the back.
That lap was a 138.33.
That's pretty good. Full tanks. Tyres are warmed up, getting much easier to get these corners, and just closing in on Eugene a bit, down to 92 litres. 7 seconds back to Mr. McCarthy, but he's a very quick driver, so as is evidenced by his second place in the championship, so we can expect him to be closing in on us pretty quick. He's already made his way to there from the back of the grid. I believe he was doing 35s last night. 3 seconds faster than what we're doing now. Now he'll have race fuel on, so I don't know if he's doing 35s now.
Yellow flag.
Somebody's had an off here, which is easy to do. It's Marquez, I think. I think that'll put us 10th. No, maybe not.
P11.
I think Eugene's figured out how much curb he could take on this track. So he could be even faster. Don't tell him.
All right, Stevie.
His lap time is quicker than the car he's chasing.
Tell, closing.
1.8.
McCarthy is closing in slowly but surely. I'm taking that set of corners quite well now, though it is dangerous. If it goes wrong, it'll go spectacularly wrong. McCarthy's now within 4 seconds. And Marquez, I think, has got some speed. Eugene is helping McCarthy catch us a little bit faster now. I think he's getting...
Something's happened. The yellow flags are out.
White flag, mate.
So he's had an off around this corner. We're actually on the apex, I think. Nope. Just in front of us. Wilson. The driver just in front of me in the championship, but we're only barely 15 minutes into this race, so those distractions are costing us dear. McCarthy's right on us.
There must be an accident. The yellow flags are out.
There's a slow car.
More yellow flags. Driver's having trouble with this quite tricky track. Tagarin. They'll both pick up speed, I think, both Wilson and Tagarin.
That lap was a 1:39.05.
Yeah, there's quite a few things to avoid on that lap, so not that quick. Does have a nice flow to it, this track. It's so easy to get something wrong like that. Get told off now. But no time gained. McCarthy's just 2 seconds back now. I don't intend to try to fight McCarthy, he's too quick.
The gap in front is now 1.6.
There's a fair possibility that some of these drivers might well come together, fighting each other. Eugene did a good pass then now, I think.
McCarthy is getting closer. The gap is now 1.6.
It might be less than that, Chief. You see some headlights behind me. There's just a little bit of hesitancy in that corner, which I know is costing me just a little bit of time.
Your lap time was 1:38.82.
Overcooked that a little bit. Whilst I certainly shouldn't make it super easy for McCarthy, I'm not sure I'm going to be even able to do anything about it.
On the left. Clear on the left.
No, he was cautious. Maybe he's worried because I'm Nin's teammate. He's trying left, he's trying right, and I'm trying to spin. Damn, that was trying to be too defensive.
The car ahead is McCarthy.
Altered the setup of the car deliberately to try and stop that, but because it ended up being a bit uncommitted on the throttle, that's why it span on me. Right, need to get it back together. Get caught up with these lot again. Sure, we get around that corner. Tyres might be a bit off.
Okay, Stevie, there's a car exiting the pits. Heads up. P12.
In some ways, McCarthy caught me at just the wrong place. That's the worst corner on the track for me. Go, love a disallowed lap. 6 seconds I lost there on that spin.
The gap to McCarthy ahead is increasing. It's now 6.3.
Turn that TC down to 5 now. Down to 80 litres of fuel. So you've got to keep the throttle down on this corner to make sure the car doesn't spin, and that's what I got wrong. Focused too much on McCarthy and not on what was in front of me. So McCarthy's now within half a second of Tugarin.
The gap behind is now 6.8. Your lap time was at 1:38.56.
Car's a little bit more leery with TC5 on. I was making up time, and then I've lost it again when it's moving around too much. See them all on the radar now. We're only just a little bit in front of me, but they're pulling away, it would appear. Not sure we can just see the lights there in the distance. So I've turned traction control and ABS down a little bit now, try and get a bit more speed. Now the car's lighter, but they're still pulling away.
Something's happened. The yellow flags are out.
The gap to McCarthy ahead is increasing.
Oh, he's had a moment in that big one.
9.4 seconds.
He had to come in together with Tugarin and try to make a move. Ooh, expecting that. Probably should come up in the highlights reel, I hope.
The gap behind is now 7.6. That lap was a 1:39.52.
McCarthy pulled out second in a lap. Dear oh dear. I'm just going to say that Lamborghini is faster than this around this track. That's what it is. What about a disadvantage? I'm absolutely stuck in this position. I don't seem able to take any time out of the drivers behind me or any time out of the drivers in front of me. This is a bit of a treacherous track though, especially that final turn at the bottom, so we'll have to see what transpires over the hour. Already it's only 6 minutes until pit stop time.
Well done, mate. Fastest lap so far.
I can get into the 37s regular, that's okay. I've had a warning for track limits.
The gap to McCarthy in front is now 1.8 seconds.
I only allowed 3 of those. On the 4th, I'll get a drive through. So keep an eye open for me, folks. That was warning number 1. I'm innocent, by the way. I don't know what we're on about. Oh, that's definitely a cut. No time gain though, you know, no harm done. Definitely not warning number 2 or anything. Oh, that was bad. Oh, I'm losing it. Losing it at the end of this lap. It was alright to then.
There's a car exiting the pits, heads up.
Here we are approaching pit stop time now, I think. Overcooked it, come on. Oh, that cost me a good chunk of time, that did. Marquez closing in behind me and he's a lap down, ideally. Keep some distance between me and him. If you want to take it even splits, I've got 4 minutes until pit stop, which is 3 laps. I'm not sure whether I just keep going. No, I'm going to get an undercut or anything.
Your last lap time was at 1:39.10.
Slow lap. This one's slow as well. What's going on? Carthy suddenly moved away from me when we were pretty even on pace for quite some time.
The gap to McCarthy ahead is now 3.9.
I did have that slip though, didn't I, on this corner, which made that gap. Given the inroads McCarthy was making, you've got to wonder if he has damage after whatever happened to him, with him and Tagarin. Can't see Tagarin anymore, he must have pitted. Oh,
Car right. Right side's clear.
I don't think that happens very often. Yeah, McCarthy had a spin and don't have one in sympathy. He will get himself together quite quickly though and come back at us.
This is looking good for championship points if he can keep it up.
McCarthy behind is pitting.
Yeah, thought he might pit. Maybe his tyres are a bit short or something. If my tyres are feeling a bit loose, I might pit the end of this lap. Also got Marquez closing in, which is going to make it difficult for me if he starts trying to edge past. So it's probably best to pit the end of this lap. Coming up fast though with Marquez.
On your right.
What you doing? You're a blue flag.
Right side's clear. Car right. Clear right. Okay, Stevie, that's half distance. Fuel levels are fine.
Just entered the pit lane to make a stop.
Expect traffic when you come out. We should come out into position 12. Right with
No repairs
Wilson
required.
and McCarthy.
I'll line up the pit arrow with the gap in the dashboard on the little lights. Just about not too far, gone too far forward. Damn. Oh, achy wrist. Right. How bad's this going to be? It says P13 already. TC up with cold tyres and ABS as well, play it safe. 4 seconds. Right, there's more places.
Come on, go, go, go.
Sork going through. I think he's a long way up the field because I think he started third or fourth or something, I think.
Straight off on the green light. He's got a lot of work to do to gain back that lost time.
That's the blues. He'll have to pull over now.
There's a white flag. Your brake temps look good. White
Wilson.
flag, mate.
What's going on? Wilson's 3.1 seconds. This is McCarthy coming through. I've got cold tyres. He's not.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Took a terrible line. Took an inside line. That's a bad line. That is McCarthy. Oh, is car okay? You really seem to sort of hesitate there right in the middle of the corner.
It's now 15 seconds.
I think we're still waiting for others to complete their pit stop. Both McCarthy and I wouldn't expect us to lose that many places. Just pitting. Whoa, that was not good.
Stevie, there's a car exiting the pits, heads up.
That's a blue flag.
V14.
Nearly lost the car then. It's my rival in the championship. Lapping me. Disaster.
The blue flag is being waved.
Go through there. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Car right. Clear right.
Oh, you took me time off of that, Wilson.
You've got half your fuel left.
Murphy closing in on me.
McCarthy ahead is increasing. It's now
7
4.4.
seconds away. McCarthy's now 4 seconds after my slight slide, and seemingly waiting an eternity for Wilson to get through.
White flag.
So he must have just rejoined after having an off here. Ah, there's Wilson pitting. A bit more hanging on. I thought he was very well forward. I could have probably kept him behind me until he pitted. Oh well.
P13.
Warning for exit.
Oh, that's warning number 2. Only 2 more to go, folks, and we're in trouble.
Crawford is pitting from position 5. We think he'll come out just in front of you.
Go on, let's shift it. Okay, McCarthy's now 5 seconds to Gary 9. It's quite a quick lap so far. It's well taken. Ah, it's not that quick a lap. It resets your fastest lap when you go in the pits. Still, it's got 38. Must be best. Oh no. A 40 since I come out the pits, not for a 38.4. So it's 2 seconds faster than that. There's a lot going on that first quick lap though. Not surprising. So I'll be back on about, break too early then, our average lap time.
The guy ahead has just done a 136.20.
It's not
car
bad.
leading the pit
New
lane.
tyres.
Good lap.
38.0.
That's your quickest so far.
There's a car leaving the pit lane. Watch out.
Don't let me get another warning then, that's a bit tight. This could be the first race we end up with a drive-through here at this rate. Okay, TC down, ABS down. Tyres are warmed up now. Let's try and push.
He's closing the gap in front.
3.4.
Slightly put off then by Zemland going straight on. Crawford 2.5 seconds behind me, and Eugene 3.8 seconds ahead. I think we've made up places in the pits. Oh, we've moved up. So I need to push, try and catch Eugene.
V12.
The car directly in front of us is a lapped car. Eugene's the one just in front of it.
The gap to Crawford behind is now 2.8 seconds.
Now I think I'm holding Crawford. 20 minutes is a long time to hold him there though. Still absolutely level pegging with all the drivers around us. I think Crawford might be slowly closing in.
That last lap was a 137.48.
We're hustling. I think Crawford's hustling faster.
Okay, Stevie, there'll be chances here. Let's make sure we can take them. That's
Says that
20
every
minutes to go.
race. Doesn't work anymore. He says it every race. I know I'm taking that well, and I feel I'm going to crash. And I certainly felt I was going to crash then. Eugene's still 4.7 seconds away.
Has the luxury of entering the pits in first place.
What are you on about, Martin? Pit stop's done. Well, you're really turning it on when it matters. Every lap's a new PB.
Well done, mate. This is me, your personal best.
I think there's some kind of incident. I can see yellow flags.
This one's not such a clever lap. Oh, he's not a clever lap at all. We're half a second down. We're off track.
Car right, clear right.
1.3 seconds down. So we'll definitely give Crawford a sniff.
The gap to Crawford behind is now 3.7.
He's past Heath already. It's a pretty bad lap, that one.
Falling behind to the car in front.
Nice and smooth with that throttle. Keep it balanced. E11.
Crawford did a 40 back then, so I've been let off. Crawford also did a slow lap. He must have also had issues with traffic. Thanks, Brakovic. Thank you very much.
Car left.
Sorry
Clear
about
left.
that. Still can't close in on Eugene. It's 4.9 seconds. Not a brilliant lap, actually. Quite nearly a second down. So 38.3. Still 4.7
Okay,
seconds to
15 minutes
Eugene,
left.
locked
That's
solid.
15 minutes.
15 minutes. So 15 minutes is a long time to hang on when you're driving like this. Can't afford to lose time like that. 4.4 down. Half a second. Eugene's pulling away a little bit, I think. Maybe it's just the effect of the straight. Nope. Definitely pulled away a little bit. It's pulled away for about a second or so, I think. It's at a 38.0 there. Oh, I'm going quicker this lap. Almost the same though.
Gaining on the car ahead is
About 0.1 of a
Come on,
second
keep
faster.
digging. P10.
Ooh, it's P10. A good place to be.
The gap to Crawford behind is increasing. It's now 5.2 seconds.
I think my position in fifth, I think it'll be helped by this result. It'll take some working out. Keep braking that early for that corner, it won't be helped. Need to keep pushing. Martin and McCarthy are long gone, 15 seconds up the road nearly. Only 12 minutes to go. God, lost a second that lap. Very bad, lost way over half a second to Eugene in that lap.
138.59.
Minutes.
The gap in front has increased. It's now about 6.8 seconds.
Got fuel for 10 laps, so should just be. Oh, it's going to be just about all right. It's going to be close. Crew chief's not said anything about fuel. He normally would do. I don't remember him saying our fuel gone either. Crawford's down to 3 seconds now. I need to focus, pull my finger out, get back on it. I've lost a second plus, second and a half this lap. Yeah. Okay. Fuel for 9 laps, 10 minutes to go.
You've just done a 139.28.
It's going to be a bit tight for fuel.
Ten minutes remaining, 10 minutes.
Oh God, Eugene's 8 seconds away now. I've really let myself go. Quite alarmed about the fuel levels.
The gap ahead is now 8.8. The gap to Crawford behind is now 4.2.
Something down like a yo-yo, that gap. Come on, come on. Keep pushing, 8 minutes. Gap to Eugene's dropped.
This is looking good for championship points if he can give it up.
It's only 10th place.
The lead car's pitting.
Somebody's pitting late.
That was a 138.61.
Can Crawford's gone. I think it's Tagarin who's behind me now. Don't know where Crawford's gone. It's Tagarin, 2.9 seconds. We've got 6 minutes to go. Tagarin's pretty nippy. I wonder if he's managed to get past Crawford. No change to the overall plan, just push as hard as we can. It's starting to get dark around here, as well as in the game. I'm wondering if I should have turned lights. That was a lack of concentration then. Oh god, now Tagarin's only 2 seconds behind. Come on, see his lights. 5 minutes is a long time to hold him off.
Unfortunately, he's not as fast as his best intermediate. Okay, let's have a look at the qualifying.
But Eugene's had enough as well.
Far.
Now we're right behind him.
Compared with his previous times, I can see that he's actually slower there.
Sector 3 is 1.3 seconds.
Unfortunately, he's not as fast as his best intermediate.
Murray depressing me there. Tagarin's 1.9 seconds, and the distance Tagarin's behind me is how far Eugene is in front of me now. Very close.
5 minutes remaining, 5 minutes left.
5 minutes, time gone. I think I've got enough fuel, can do 6 more laps, so that's going to be okay. Tagarin's really closing in fast, despite the fact I'm really pulling it out for the lap time.
Alright Stevie, you've got 10 minutes of fuel remaining.
Now it's 0.8.
The gap in front is now 2.4. That lap time was 138.31.
It's way too slow for what we're having to do. Tagarin's right on us.
The gap behind is now 1.0.
Gap behind is almost nothing. This pain on this hairpin's really going to hurt me. Mind you, Tagarin's in the McLaren as well. Got the same disadvantage in terms of poor straight line speed. God, my wrist hurt now. Two minutes to go to try and hold Tagarin off. I'm not sure it can be done. Half a second now. It's going to be at least 3 more laps.
Sector 2 is 0.8.
Well, that's actually slower than his best qualifying lap today.
The leader's just done a 135.49. That's 2 minutes left. 2 minutes.
That wasn't very well taken. Should we risk TC4? We shall risk TC4 in an effort to try and get away faster. I was a bit leery around that corner. Don't leave the door open for him. Oh, he's got it. Got a wobble.
Right side.
Got a wobble in the middle of the corner. It's his.
Still there. Right side's clear.
TC back up. Not sure TC4 was a good idea.
P11.
The leader's on final lap now.
Couldn't weld him off. Made a mistake. Couldn't hold him off.
There's a white flag.
For this that last second. Last lap. Is he the last of the late breakers into this one?
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
No, he's the last of the bad breakers.
White flag, mate.
Well, we pushed all the way. I'm not sure there's going to be an opportunity unless Tagara has a nightmare in these last couple of corners. They are tricky. Now it's going to be P11 or a shame. I think Eugene might be the biggest threat in terms of points in the championship table. I think he was just behind me. So there we go, P11. That's a shame.
And he's on his last lap now.
The leader has finished the race.
We finished. Stop then. Oh dear, I made a schoolboy error there. I don't think we finished. I'm not so sure actually. People are waving lots of flags. That was a real schoolboy error. I had another lap to push. Right, my mistake there. Definitely P11, no change. This isn't very good.
Alright, checkered flag. Alright, good job. You did the best you could. I'll bring the car back.
Shane. Shane, P11. Or a Shane. Oh. Oof. Well, what a race that was. What a shame for the result. Let's have a look at the driver's table, actually. So, I heard Marquez had a good result on the chat. Now he's 10th. I'm not sure. He's showing behind me, so Marquez is in 6th. I think he finished behind us in the race. Kieran Wilson finished ahead of us. So I think the table is pretty much as it was. I think. It's hard to tell. As soon as people log off, you don't see what position they came in. So Nens appears to be 2nd or a long way up the table. So I would say, subject to confirmation, the championship table is pretty much unchanged this week, which isn't bad from my perspective. So next week's race is Bathurst, which is usually carnage. Bathurst is a very difficult track to get right. It's very narrow with concrete walls on either side, so very, very difficult. So that's a 90-minute race as well. So it's an endurance race at a track that's difficult to get round. Well, hopefully I'll see you then next week. Hope you enjoyed the race tonight, and see you soon.